Good evening, one and all. Another episode, True Crime Metrix. We were only on last night, but our video on June Umchinda's interview with police from 2018 was so hot today, hotter than the weather, which is saying something. A lot of comments, big comments, great comments. I just read a comment that blew me away by our number one fan, Ramble On. Ramble On, if you're out there somewhere, thank you so much for your incredible comment. Almost brought a tear to my eye. It's fantastic. I haven't had time to respond to it because we're kicking straight into the show tonight, Ramble. But just wanted to tell you that it was really appreciated. And yeah, if anyone wants to be touched to their very heart this evening, go and read Ramble's comment. It was amazing. Thank you, Ramble. Anyway, tonight, guys, more June. Right? I know it's August already, but we're going back to June. June Umchinda on the stand. I was going to do one stream per testimony, 2019, 2022, 2023. But you know what? I had a little look at the testimonies today, and they're pretty short, so I think we can fit at least 2 testimonies into one video tonight. So we're going to be looking at 2019 first, obviously, and then we'll move on to 2022. We'll be checking out her outfits, her hairstyle, her accessories, her bags, her way that she walkings, the way that she walkings. Yes, we will be checking out the ways that she walkings, to the stand, off the stand, and getting a bit stuck in the middle at times because we're dealing with June here, guys. She's fantastic. You know, I do like her. You know. She's very charming. She's not just very pretty. She's also very charming. And I've said this before, is the thing that I like about June is that I think she genuinely does try to do her best. She just has no idea what is expected of her, right? I'd love to know more solid details about her background, type of schooling she went to, home life as a young lady growing up. There is a waft of wealth, isn't there? Maybe a touch of privilege comes across. Doesn't exactly seem like she's from the streets, like little old Katie Magbanua over there. So I think we should just get straight into it, right, guys? Why wait? Why wait? Welcome to everybody in the chat. All our fantastic moderators are in at the ready, pedal to the metal, and our fantastic members. How fantastic! Oh, they're not here yet. Okay, they must be arranging some treats for y'all, some snacks. Okay, present, share screen, browse. Why don't they just make this one button? Wouldn't that be great? FSU. Yeah, that's it. Share. Okay, that's the one we like. Do this little split screen. Bear with us, guys. Okay.
All right, for the jury. Everybody be seated except the witness. If you would face the clerk and be sworn, raise your right hand, please.
Welcome, Riding Shotgun. You see, I knew one of our members would be in early. Welcome, you're the first one here. Fantastic.
I do.
Have a seat, please, ma'am.
What is your name?
Hi, I'm June Umchinda.
Will you please spell Umchinda?
Umchinda.
Where do you live?
I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Do you know Charlie Adelson?
I do.
How do you know Mr. Adelson?
He's my ex-boyfriend.
What were the periods of time that you dated Mr. Adelson?
We dated from October 2015 to June 2017 about.
Okay, and was that steady or was that kind of off and on?
Well, it was off and on. I would say like it was steady for a year and then, you know, a little break. I'm still in touch with him now, but we're not together.
Okay. When was the last time you spoke to Mr. Adelson?
Yesterday.
And has Ms.
Yeah, you got to get in that final call before her testimony, her big testimony, haven't you, Charlie? Obviously, Charlie has already heard the very damning interview that June Umchinda gave to law enforcement a year ago from this point, back in 2018. If anyone hasn't seen that, guys, there's a link to our video, our commentary video on June's interview in the description for this video. But, you know, there was a lot of damning things. He was acting like a crazy person. He'd go on long walks after Catherine's arrest. And then we were reading about horoscopes. And I said that something you did years ago will come back and make you pay. And he said, yeah, that is true. And that thing she said about his mother to the cops, what was it? Donna said that she feels like Dan is coming back and haunting her from the grave. Pretty damning interview all ways round. But Charlie would have certainly heard that because his lawyer would have been alerted to the existence of that and played it for him. So he's given June a call the day before she comes to testify. Interesting timing. Not last week, the day before.
Mr. Adelson ever talked to you about the murder of Dan Markell?
He has, because it's a big, you know, thing right now. So we did obviously speak about it.
Mm-hmm. And he's never made any admissions to you, has he, about being involved in the murder?
No.
All right. Did he ever, I don't know, let me ask you this. Around the time of May 2016, when
I like the phrasing of your question, Amy, who says, Metrix, from the scale of Rashbaum to Charlie, how tall are you? Is Charlie 6'2"? I think I heard that. I'm an inch shorter than Charlie. I'm 6'1".
arrests were made in this case, or some arrests were made, and there was some media attention increased, did you notice a change in the behavior of Mr. Adelson?
Yes, I did.
Could you explain that to the jury, please?
He was just acting stressed and irrational. Were you talking about when the media broadcasted everything or beforehand when people were were arrested?
Why don't we start with when people were arrested? Did you notice a change in his behavior at that time?
Yes.
Okay, tell us about that.
Well, obviously they were tracing things back to him, so he was nervous and worried and just not himself.
Okay. And was he doing things like sleeping with a gun?
He did, but he usually does that.
So. Oh, he did that anyway?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you just noticed that his demeanor had changed. He seemed to be more stressed out.
There was something about him and he wouldn't really tell me. So yes, he was stressed out.
So he wouldn't tell you really what the problem was?
No.
Okay. Would you routinely sleep over at his place during the time that you were a couple?
I slept there every night. Yeah.
And where was he living at that time?
Will Harbor Lane.
That's a really big thing for June, isn't it? This I slept there every night. I had my luxury condo right on the water that I was paying $3,000 a month for, but I decided to live in Whale Harbor and I stayed there every night. She says that any opportunity she can. That's June's measure of a relationship, the seriousness of a relationship. We were inseparable. It was perfect. And I stayed there every night. Whale Harbor. He was the whale and I was in my safe harbor with my whale.
Where he lives now.
All right. And what does Mr. Adelson do for a living?
He's a periodontist.
Did you ever observe him engaging in any type of gang-related activities?
Riding shotgun. Whose trial is this? This is the joint trial of Sigfredo Garcia and Katie Magbanua. So we're going to be seeing two cross-examinations, one from Mr. Hand Grenade and one from Christopher DeCoste. Can't wait for that. That's always very good value.
No,
Did you ever see him interacting with or associating with any known gang members?
no,
Did you observe him dealing in cocaine,
no, definitely not.
purchasing cocaine, using cocaine?
No, never.
All right. Did you observe Mr. Adelson to have large amounts of cash?
Yes.
Like how much?
I don't know. I've never seen all of it, but I know he has access to it. And
If she is lying at certain points on this stand, I think she's pretty good at covering up her tells, because when she answers a question that she's nervous about, like there's I think it's Christopher DeCoste asks her later if she ever smoked marijuana with Charlie, and she's so like ashamed, and she just she's like, I have done, and sort of looks down. It seems pretty genuine. I don't know. Let's see if we can spot any lies.
his house.
All right. Where is it kept in his house?
It's in his bedroom in a safe.
All right. Is it like a small safe or one that's like the size of a refrigerator?
Like a refrigerator.
And is there anything unusual about the way Mr. Adelson packages his cash?
No, I've never seen it physically. Like I don't look in his safe.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen him take money out of it.
Okay. So you
But,
didn't. Do you recall giving a statement back on July 24th, 2018 to law enforcement?
Yes. And I wanted to say at that time, obviously, you know, he just had a baby with someone else, and that's the primary reason we broke up. So when I gave that interview, the baby was 6 months old, and Bree moved into the house, and they got a dog, and I thought I would never speak to him again. So I was obviously.
Man, I would have loved to have been inside June's brain when this all happened. It's like, oh my God, she's moved in now and they've got a dog, and I wanted to do that. Oh, she's so upset by that, bless her.
You know, hurt and angry. And
Okay. So were you lying to law enforcement back in July 24th, 2018 because of your
No.
anger? Okay. So I want to ask you specifically in that interview, did you talk about?
I wasn't lying to law enforcement, but I forgot to be cagey. I didn't care about being cagey anymore because I was upset because Bree moved in and got a dog and they had a 6-month-old baby. If she just realized the truth and say, well, Charlie did all that just to make it look like he's a good family man, and maybe the cops and the prosecutor wouldn't pursue him if he had a young child, then maybe she wouldn't be so upset, right?
Observing large amounts of cash.
And June, if you're watching this, honey, I know your appearance is very important to you, and I tried for the thumbnail. I tried to get 2 very nice pictures of you, and I think they're very nice. So you should be pleased with the way you look, June, okay?
Cash lying around the house when you were dating Charlie Adelson.
yes,
Okay. And did you talk about a particular way that the money was separated or packaged?
I did mention that there was a staple on one of them. So I kind of like joked to him about it.
In fact, you said that the money was stapled into stacks of $100 bills, didn't you?
They were hundreds, yes. And
Okay.
I don't know if they were.
Leah, 100%. The entire Adelson family are gathered around the TV like it's the Super Bowl. They've got everything on this. They've most likely paid for Catherine's defense. They've probably got some backdoor into Mr. Hand Grenade to know what's going on with the Sigfredo Garcia situation. This is their big play. If Catherine gets off, they've probably forgotten about, they've probably given up that Sigfredo's going to get off. I mean, I don't even know why he went to trial other than it was his right. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like every piece of evidence against him is rock solid. Catherine was a little bit more vague, right? So It was their big play. If Catherine gets off, that protects the whole of the Adelson family, right? Of course they're watching this. They're watching this intently as a group together. Wendy, not so sure because she's a freak.
Were stacks, but there was a staple on it.
You didn't say that there were multiple stacks of $100 bills that were stapled.
Not that I saw, no.
Okay. And did you know how much, I guess if you didn't see any stacks, you don't know how much money was in the stacks.
Right.
Okay. Did you see him actually stapling the money?
No.
All right. Did you know where the cash came from?
No.
Okay. Did Mr. Adelson give you a lot of gifts during the time that you were dating?
No.
What about after you were dating? Did you get any gifts after you broke
No.
up?
I mean, I got usual birthday gifts and such like Christmas, but not anything out of the ordinary.
Okay. Did he buy you any cars?
No.
Did he pay for any trips for you to go on your own without him?
No, he helped me visit my sister for her wedding in Seattle
Okay. And was that during the time you were dating or after you broke up?
during.
Okay. What about Catherine Magbanua? Do you know who she is?
I've seen her once. I have never physically met her, so no.
Where did you see her?
Well,
Yeah, Ian, I can see that, along with a full set of glitter pens.
we met briefly. I would say see or met. She worked at Jerry's, the dermatologist's front desk. So when I walked in, I was a patient of Jerry's, and briefly, she greeted me.
All right. And what dermatologist was that she worked for?
Broward Dermatology.
All right. And the person you referred to as Jerry, that's Dr. Obed?
Yes.
And that was somebody who was close with Mr. Adelson?
Yes.
All right. And were they roommates at some point?
Yes.
Okay. So Ms. Magbanua was working at the dermatology office. Do you know the time frame that you observed her working there?
No, I saw her for a second, so I don't even know if she recalls.
Okay. And did you notice an increase in Mr. Adelson's contact with Ms. Magbanua after the media attention started in reference to this case?
No.
Do you remember giving that statement back on July 24th, 2016 to law enforcement?
I remember something was brought up about Catherine's car needed to be fixed, so that was brought up, and I mentioned it to him, just asking about it.
Okay, and did you tell law enforcement that Charlie started talking to Catherine a lot more after the media attention started?
I noticed he met with her like twice, I would say.
Okay.
So,
Did you ever know?
maybe about 2 times.
Did you ever know of Catherine Magbanua working for Charlie at his dental practice? I'm sorry. Yeah, periodontal practice.
No, I met him after he was with Catherine, so.
Okay, and when you met him in October of 2015, Ms. Magbanua was not employed at his office, to your knowledge?
I actually met Charlie, it's like a year ago before that, but we reconnected a year later.
All right, I guess during any of the time that you knew Mr. Adelson, were you aware of Ms. Magbanua working
No.
at his office? Okay. Did you ask Mr. Adelson about the paychecks that were going to Ms. Magbanua?
Objection, personal knowledge.
It's the same.
Did Mr. Adelson ever express to you interest in purchasing a BMW for Ms. Magbanua?
No.
Did you tell law enforcement back on July 24th, 2016 that Charlie wanted to get her a BMW before the case, but said he couldn't do it because the cops were watching his spending?
Objection, misleading the jury.
I'll overrule that, yeah.
Did you make that statement to law
No.
enforcement? You did not?
It was tough.
Georgia's got that wrong. The statement was about June getting a BMW. That's the statement that she made to the cops. She said he was going to get me a BMW, but when all this stuff happened with the case, he said the cops are watching the money and he can't do it.
I don't know if they confused it. Like I was asking for a BMW. I actually got one myself now, but before then I was talking to Charlie about it. And
yeah, of course you do. I bet it's white with a cream interior. X5, white X5 with a cream interior. Anyone agree with that? Let us know in the comments. Put a car emoji if you agree with that. A white X5 with a cream interior.
he just says, you know, there's so much going on.
Okay, so you were referring to yourself.
Yeah.
That he considered buying a BMW for you, but could not.
It was brought up. He didn't consider it. He, you know, just a lot of, once the case started, everything kind of changed. So.
Okay, thank you. Did Mr. Adelson ever mention to you giving Catherine Magbanua a Lexus that his dad wanted to get rid of?
Yes.
And did he mention to you that he collected any money from Ms. Magbanua in exchange for the Lexus?
No, it was in her name though, I believe.
Okay, so your understanding was that he gave it to her as a gift?
Objection, proper opinion. Also speculation. That's it.
Us suspending too.
Bob, I think she's got a Rolls Royce now, as we saw in her pictures. I don't know if maybe it's not hers. Maybe she was just in the Rolls Royce. But the seat had the embroidery, the RR logo right embroidered into the seat in one of her pictures from last night.
Would it refresh your recollection in reference to your prior statements regarding the money that you saw around Mr. Adelson's residence to see a transcript of your interview?
No.
Yeah, Lady Scorpion, press the like, guys. And you know what? Someone had a great idea. I don't know who it was. One of our fantastic moderators last night is, even if you've liked the video, put a thumbs up in the comments to tell everyone you've liked the video. It's great exposure, guys. Like the video, share the video.
Properly adjourned.
All right. One moment, please, Your Honor.
Hi, Rabbit. Good to see you.
All right. Did you say back on July 24th, 2018, quote, but there was always stacks of hundreds, like a lot of cash in there. I don't know exactly. Agent Sanford said, yeah. Thousands and thousands of dollars, you think? And your answer was, yeah. Agent Sanford, stacks of hundreds?
Objection, proper impeachment.
Overruled.
Your answer, yeah, like it's like dollars to him. Like does that sound like what you said on the interview?
I would, something along the lines of that.
Okay, exactly that, right? Or do you have a reason to think the transcript is incorrect?
No, I mean, if I believe I was recorded without my knowledge during the transcript. So if that's what it said, then that's what I said. I don't remember.
Okay. And did you also say on that occasion when you were interviewed by law enforcement, so I was always like, who staples money and stuff? Like, use a paper clip or something. And then there was a question, so you've seen his money stapled together? Answer, yeah. Was that your statement?
Yes, so I mentioned he had the staples on the hundreds before.
And then did you also say, one thing I did, like I thought was weird, was I had one time, like he was giving money to count or something, and all of his money is like stapled together, the hundreds in bundles.
Objection, proper impeachment.
Overruled.
Did you make that statement, Ms. Umchinda?
I don't recall.
Okay, and it would not refresh your recollection to review the transcript?
Objection, proper impeachment.
Overruled.
I can. If it's there, then I'm assuming I made it.
Let her read it. That's
Sure.
okay.
So I don't.
Page 42, lines 18 through 23. It's small, so it's this portion here. Just take a moment and review it. Does it refresh your memory at all?
Yes, we did talk about the stapled money, so
Okay, so you did make that statement.
yes.
Okay. One moment, please, Your Honor.
You bet.
No further questions.
Magbanua, Garcia.
Thank you, Judge.
So what was established there? Katie didn't work at the office, at least to June's knowledge. Yes, he stapled money from a big refrigerator-sized safe in his wardrobe. He was acting like a crazy person, and he's moved in with Bree, or Bree's moved in with him. What else was established? I think that was pretty much the nuts and bolts of it, wasn't it?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I represent Mr. Garcia, and I'm going to ask you some questions with regards to your involvement in this case, okay?
Okay.
Now, you said on direct examination that you were unaware that you were being recorded. Is that correct?
Yes.
And just so I can get a better understanding.
Amy, she is funny, isn't she? She is really funny. She's endearing, you know? She's like a, I don't know, like a little lamb or something.
Did law enforcement come to your home, or did you get summoned to go to a police station?
They came to my home multiple times, like banging on my door, and throughout the year. They came to my homes, attempted about like 2 or 3 times until I finally got a hold of someone to get the subpoena back then.
So the date in question, what is the date?
July 24th.
2018?
Yes.
So the government's been referring to a transcript of an interview that you were involved in on July 24th, 2018, correct?
Yes.
And this interview, did it take place at a police station, at your home?
It was in my condo lobby at my home.
When you were involved in the interaction with law enforcement, was there a stenographer there taking notes?
Not that I can recall. There were two officers.
And I'm asking this because it was your direct testimony that you said that you didn't know you were being recorded. So I would assume they didn't advise you that we're recording the statement?
Right.
Did they give you an opportunity to review the transcript to see if there's any problems with it?
I didn't even know they took what I said and.
I don't think she knows what a stenographer is. I think because you might think if you were sat down with 2 people and neither of those guys were a stenographer, you might remember that there wasn't one there. I think she thinks it's a device. The stenographer device, ma'am, was it present during your interview?
2 officers.
And I'm asking this because it was your direct testimony that you said that you didn't know you were being recorded. So I would assume they didn't advise you that we're recording the statement?
Right.
Did they give you an opportunity to review the transcript to see if there's any problems with it?
I didn't even know they took what I said and put it anywhere, so.
So you wouldn't know.
Yeah, exactly. June thought they were just coming round to check on her to see if she's all right. Just good-hearted investigators.
When they turned the recording on versus them not recording, correct?
I'm sorry. What was
Let me ask that again. I'm sorry. So since you didn't know they were recording it, it would be impossible for you to know when they began recording it, correct?
Right.
So you can't tell the members of this jury whether or not prior to the beginning of this recording that they discussed stapling the money together, correct?
Correct.
Now you were with Charlie Adelson from October of 2015?
Yes.
Oh, we've got Udi in the house. Welcome back, Udi. Nice to see you. Where have you been, Udi?
Until June of 2016.
17.
I'm sorry, 17. Almost almost a 2-year relationship, correct?
Yes.
And it was your testimony that you would spend almost every night at his house, correct?
Yes.
During this 2 years, did you ever see him smoke marijuana?
Yes.
Did you ever see him take any kind of bodybuilding supplements?
No.
You know he went to a gym, correct?
Yes.
He would work out?
Would I work out or?
I'm sorry, no.
I'm
He would-
sorry.
He would work out, right?
Yes, he has stuff in his house, like a gym, a home gym.
Did he have a gym that
That's a great bit. You see what I mean? She really does try to listen and try to answer the question. Would I work out?
Yes.
Did you ever see him take any kind of bodybuilding supplements?
No.
You know he went to a gym, correct?
Yes.
He would work out?
Would I work out or?
I'm sorry, no.
I'm
He would-
sorry.
He would work out, right?
Yes, he has stuff in his house, like a gym, a home gym.
Did he have a gym that he would go to, like a membership gym?
Yes.
And would it be safe to say that Charlie Adelson had a wide spectrum of friends, correct?
Yes.
Would it also be safe to say that Charlie Adelson, I don't know if this would be a correct designation, but he frequented nightclubs?
Not like, what do you mean by frequent?
Did he go to nightclubs in South Beach?
He went to nightclubs. It wasn't specifically South Beach when I was with him.
Just a reminder, guys, some of you may have forgotten what point Mr. Hand Grenade was trying to make during his defense of Sigfredo Garcia, because I don't even think he knew himself, really. But it was basically something like this, that Charlie would go nightclubbing a lot, and so would Luis Rivera, right? Because Latin kings love going clubbing, right? And Charlie was a cocaine, buying the cocaine, doing the cocaine, and he would buy the cocaine from Luis Rivera. And he arranged with Luis Rivera for Luis Rivera to do the hit on Dan Markel without Sigfredo. And then Luis Rivera, by the time they got around to arresting him, was already arrested on his federal charge, 12-year sentence for racketeering for the Latin Kings, and decided to throw his best friend and brother, make-believe brother, under the bus and say it was him and get a sweet deal for himself, right? Having made all that up, and Sigfredo never went. That was basically Mr. Hand Grenade's defense. But what does he have in order to support that contention is, and Mr. Adelson, he would frequent the nightclub scene on South Beach. Is that correct, Mr. Umchinda? And clubs rhymes with drugs, doesn't it, Miss Umchinda? So he was buying drugs in the clubs from the Latin King. This is his whole thing. I can't wait till we see his closing argument to the jury. I think his opening statement wasn't that bad. Kind of didn't say much. It was only about 15 or 20 minutes, but it got people listening. I don't think his closing was as good, though. I mean, I think by that point that it was a hard sell on the jury after Georgia took him to school.
So he would go to nightclubs in multiple areas of South Florida. Would that be a better generalization?
Honestly, when I was with him, he didn't go to clubs like a lot. We went to Vegas one time and we went there to clubs, and to Miami once, and like maybe Fort Lauderdale, but it wasn't frequent enough like that. So.
And you began dating him in 2015, correct?
Yes.
So you don't know what his frequency of going out to nightclubs was in, let's say, 2013?
Right.
Or 2014, correct?
Yes.
And you also wouldn't know whether or not he was doing cocaine in 2013, correct?
Right.
Or 2014, correct?
Yes.
But he did smoke weed in front of you.
Yes.
Did you smoke it with him?
I have, yes.
Oh my God. She's like, oh, my mother's watching this. I've just admitted to drug taking.
Now, you ended your relationship with him because he was cheating on you, right?
That was the primary reason.
So he was withholding things from you, correct?
Right. We were on a break and got back together and found out
That he got another girl
girl
pregnant.
pregnant. Right.
Now, the prosecutor asked you if he knew if you were ever introduced to any gang members by Mr. Adelson, correct?
Yes.
Now, you don't know if he knew any gang members in 2013, correct?
Right.
You don't know if he knew any gang members in 2014, correct?
Correct.
The only information you can give this jury is what occurred in your relationship, which started in October of 2015. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, with regards to the fact that Mr. Adelson, Charlie Adelson, had gotten another female pregnant, you were hurt by that, correct?
Of course.
And when the police spoke to you on that interview in summer of 2018, the police told you about the stapled money, correct?
They told me about it?
Right.
No, because when they showed up, they were conversating with me, so it was mentioned. It was during a bad time when we weren't together that they testimonied me. So.
Okay, so did they bring up the?
Yeah, they conversated me and then they testimonied me. They conversated me and they testimonied me all in one day.
Stapling of the money? They did, right? The police? Did they, let me rephrase it. Did they ask you about stapled money?
They asked me, yes, about.
You didn't bring it up on your own, right?
Right.
You said that you spoke to Mr. Adelson yesterday.
Yes.
Was he going to ask you about your testimony today?
Objection,
No.
hearsay.
She's already answered.
The answer's
Find
no?
the objections untimely, but I sustain those objections for further purposes. You can move on, Ms. Sanger.
Yes, Judge. Give me a minute.
You may.
Hey, Dixie Doodles, thanks for being a new subscriber. If anyone wants to subscribe to the channel, we're rolling out the content all this week and all this month, because in 1 month today, it's jury selection for Donna Adelson's trial, guys. 1 month today, 31 days from now, we're going to be sitting, looking at this screen, watching all those jury members come in, being selected, being deselected, being approved, being unapproved, being vetoed by defense and state. It's going to be great, guys. Subscribe to the channel.
I have no further questions of this witness. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Do you have any children?
No.
You were asked questions about cash inside of the house. You remember that, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, Charles Adelson was a generous guy, right?
Yes.
In fact, at one point you explained in your statement how you had counted the money because he would give loans to people, to friends.
He helped out friends and gave loans. I didn't physically count the money he gave out to them, no.
Fair enough. But you knew that he would lend out money to people that needed it and they would pay him back.
He's told me, yes.
Help me understand this a little bit. The law enforcement came and spoke to you at one point in time. You remember that, right?
Yes.
And this would be July 24th of 2018, if you remember.
Right.
It was investigator Sherry Bennett of the Tallahassee Police Department. Is that correct?
Yes.
And an FBI agent,
Yes.
Patrick Sanford.
Yes, I have their cards. I can't quote their exact names. I'm sorry, but I believe that's them.
Was the agent medium height, shaved head?
Yes.
Now, you had said, I don't know if it was on cross-examination or direct examination, that they had banged on your door before?
Multiple times a prosecutor or whoever came to my residence would knock and repeatedly come back, you know.
You didn't open the door though, right?
Well, no, a few times I wasn't home. My roommate was, and then another time, no, I never caught them like at my place and opened the door, no.
If you can explain to this jury, in Miami, somebody bangs on your door, possibly a couple of men.
Couple of men, couple of Miami men, crime, criminal Miami men banging on the door. He's trying to get June to say, yeah, I was really scared and I didn't want to open the door because it was big criminal Miami men. Because Katie didn't open the door, right? When Sigfredo was talking to the cops, there were other cops. Remember when those cops came to Sigfredo's business? Yeah, and then there were other cops talking to Katie, or trying to talk to Katie, banging on the door. Big Miami men, crime men. He's really trying to get sweet, innocent June up here to be like, yeah, I was terrified, and I would never open the door to big Miami men, so that he can say to the jury, Miss Umchinda got up here and told you, Tallahassee. She told you about the Miami men banging and how she'd never open the door. Catherine is 6 inches shorter than June.
Are you quickly opening that door? Are you concerned to open that door in Miami?
Well, definitely a concern.
He's really hoping that the jury are like, oh, we would never go to Miami. We stay in Tallahassee with the good people. We don't like Miami crime. Miami men.
They actually just did it to me to come here. So a day or so ago, they were banging at 6 a.m. and I was sleeping. So
For you to come here today?
yeah, then I got block calls like calling me. So I didn't know, who was behind the door. And I have a guard at the gate and they didn't call me. So I was really worried.
It's scary.
Yes.
For a woman. And in Miami, it's an even more scary.
Yeah, I have a guard at the gate 24/7. I pay his entire salary. He looks after my white BMW X5 with a cream interior. Puts a fresh coat of Louis Vuitton BMW polish on the seats every day.
Everything. Because there's a lot of threats out there in Miami, right?
I guess in South Florida, anywhere, yes.
2 strange men come banging on your door. You're concerned and may not answer the door. Fair?
Just any banging, yes, would be a concern to me.
Agent Patrick Sanford, investigator Sherry Bennett, they sit down with you to talk to you. Isn't it true that they told you you're not being recorded? This is all going to be confidential. Nobody will know about it.
Yes.
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
Yes.
And then later in time, you find out that you were in fact being recorded.
Yes, I believe when I spoke, I had to do another testimony and that person told me.
So law enforcement can in fact secretively record you if they want.
They did, yes.
Let's change gears. Talk about Charles Adelson and his work.
Change gears. I mean, what is it with lawyers and changing gears? Or is it switch gears that Dan Rashbaum likes to say? Let's switch gears here. Let's switching gears now.
What did he do for work?
He was a periodontist, or he is a periodontist.
Would you have termed him a traveling periodontist, that he went to different locations, that he was routinely at different locations?
Primarily, yes.
Now, you were in a relationship with him, and you explained it kind of off and on between October 2015 and June of 2017. Did you get familiar with his work practice?
With the Adelson Institute or with his schedule, you mean?
Schedule is the better way to say it.
Yes, of course.
would he be at the Adelson Institute every day, 8 o'clock in the morning there until 5, or was he all over South Florida?
He was all over. He had appointments at different offices. He stopped in his frequently as well, if needed.
Now let's talk about Miss Magbanua. You were asked questions about whether she did or didn't work for Charles Adelson.
Yes.
Do you just not know the answer to that question?
No, I mean, when I was with him, we never spoke about Catherine working for him. I didn't even know who she was. So during that time, I didn't know. Right now, obviously, I know he mentioned that she did. So, and his parents said she did. So,
You having been his girlfriend at the time, would you think that there may be objection if you had found out that his ex-girlfriend was working for him? That could maybe cause a problem?
maybe.
Do you think it's reasonable that he would say, hey, I'm not going to share this with her. She may be upset that Catherine's working for me, Miss Magbanua?
Maybe, yes.
You see, I'm of the opinion that June has been fully prepped by Charlie Adelson's representing attorney, right? I mean, fully prepped. She just can't remember any of it. That would have been a perfect opportunity if she's here to help get Catherine off and thereby protect Charlie on say-so of his lawyer, then saying that Charlie probably kept the fact that Katie was working for him hidden from June because that would have caused friction in their relationship. That's quite a good point to bring up, Chris. But June can't remember what to do and can't see it in the moment either, right? So she just gives this kind of maybe, maybe. I don't remember. I don't remember what I'm supposed to. I don't remember what I was instructed to say.
Let's talk about his friends.
Meanwhile, Charlie Adelson's throwing the remote at the television in Miami. We paid our lawyer $500 an hour to prep you. Airhead.
It's my understanding that after this case hit the media, that he had some falling out with a lot of his friends. Is that correct?
Yes.
But he kept a few of them, a few friends. He maintained a few of them, right?
Are you talking about at this moment or, within the last 2 years or so?
All I have to go based on is your statement in July of 2018, correct? Well, my question is this: was Sully one of the friends that he maintained?
Yes.
Do you know Sully?
Yes.
He's a mechanic, right?
Yes, he was. He just sold his business, so he's doing something else now.
And that business was the eco-friendly body shop.
Correct.
What does he do now?
He got another position and moved to Orlando. I'm not 100% what the title is.
When you met with law enforcement in July of 2018, you said that you were mad at Charles Adelson.
Yes.
And that may have influenced what you said when you were meeting with law enforcement.
Definitely. I felt like I was very vulnerable at the time. So when they showed up, it was kind of like conversating with, somebody that had sympathy for what I was going through. It was just such a terrible time for me while the other woman was pregnant. So it was during all that time when she just had the baby. So yes, I was very upset.
At him, at Charles Adelson?
Yes.
And do you believe the investigators played on your emotions?
Yes.
Now, let's go in the months and the years prior to that. You had seen about this case in the media, right?
Yes.
In fact, at one point in time, they confused you with Miss Magbanua, and the news posted pictures of you online.
Right. And at that time also, I didn't even know about the case. So they took whatever I said and spun it around. And
between you somehow being dragged into it and also you dating Charles Adelson, who was
Yeah, the name Whitney Kick is a great name, isn't it? KOK. I mean, it sounds like the name of a star, doesn't it? If anyone likes the name Whitney Kick, leave a like on the video, guys. For Whitney.
in the middle of it. You then began to look at a lot of the media stuff, right?
Yes.
And you were well versed on the case when you started talking to law enforcement in July of 2018, right?
Right. They advised me of the case right there in front of his house when they showed up.
But what I'm getting at is that you knew about the case well from the media, right?
No, I never knew about this case at all until I pulled up to his house that day and the person outside told me about it.
It will help me understand this because I'm getting a little bit confused. That day that the media pulled up in front of the house, that was well before law enforcement came and met with you, right?
About a year ago, we were still together then, yes.
When you say a year ago, you're not talking about a year from today. You're talking about 2017, a year prior to the statement?
Yes.
All right. So 2017, you get confronted by the media. They put your picture on the internet. They confuse you with Miss Magbanua. You then get involved in all the media. And a year later, you then have this conversation with law enforcement, right?
Right.
And at that time, you're really mad at him.
Yes, I was everything like depressed, horrible.
All right. Let's go to the final topic. Prosecution asked you about how his mood changed at one point in time. He was, I think your words were that he was stressed and irrational. Is that correct?
Right.
Would you agree with me that it was obvious through the media, through everything that you had seen, through Miss Kappelman herself on TV, that they were trying to build a case against Charles Adelson and Catherine Magbanua?
Definitely.
One brief second, Your Honor.
Good day.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Redirect.
Hey guys, a big welcome to Diane, who just became a Patreon member. If anyone else, which is a great way to get benefits, fantastic benefits, and support the channel, merch discounts, other benefits, members only content, guys. What might that be? Let's go and see. Let's all become a member today. If you want to become a member of Patreon, the best membership program of the 3 that we offer, head down to the description and take a look at that link, and then click that link and then become a member today. If you would just like to support the channel on a one-time deal, super like, super thanks, super sticker, or buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. Link in the description. Also in the description, a link, another one, to our video, our fantastic video of the commentary of June Umchinda's interview. If you missed it from yesterday, don't leave this video. Stay watching the stream, but watch that other one straight after. Also, a link to our fantastic, and trust me on this, everybody in the comments who's a member of Discord will back me up here and say that we have the best true crime Discord community available on planet Earth. Okay? It's free, it's fantastic, it's fun, it's triple F. Okay? Triple F. Free, fantastic, fun. Okay? How great is that? Yeah, link in the description to our wonderful Discord, but also Patreon members. They're just rolling in now, guys. Get it while it's hot. Also, YouTube memberships. If you want one of those fancy stars next to your name in these fantastic YouTube comments, become a YouTube member. Or if you want even better benefits than that, become a Patreon member. Or buy me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com. And remember to like the fucking video. Let's get some more likes. That's an order.
Ms. Umchinda, you mentioned that prosecutors were at your door. What prosecutors were at your door?
I don't know because I didn't answer the door.
Do you have any reason to think that I or any member of the prosecution team ever came to your door?
I don't think you would physically come. It was probably a server or something.
Like law enforcement?
Right.
Okay. I was looking at the beginning of the taped interview, and investigator Sherry Bennett, who was the female that came to interview you, indicates at the very beginning of the transcript that she's putting the date on the,
Objection hearsay?
she's putting the date down. You know, today is 7/24/2018. It's 6:30 p.m. We're here with June. Okay, so we can just go ahead and talk. I just want to put the date down. What did you think? That didn't clue you in that she was recording the interview?
Georgia, you're not talking to a normal person here, okay? I want to write everything down to record the interview. Translated into June speak doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to understand that that means that the interview is being recorded. Let's water it down, Georgia. Try again.
Well, I would think she was taking notes.
Okay, did you see her taking notes?
I can't really remember. I believe there was paper and pen around. Someone was notating.
Thank you. No.
Yeah, there was paper and there was a pen, and she was holding the pen and holding the paper, and then she was rubbing them together, you know, in a sort of pattern while we were talking.
No further questions.
All right, hey, Jerry, I have a question.
But that could mean anything. That could mean anything.
This witness, we'll go sidebar. I believe you indicated you talked to Charlie Adelson yesterday. Is that correct?
Yes.
And was that by phone or in person?
It was by text message on the phone.
Okay, so did he text you or did you text him?
Yesterday. I'm sorry, I was flying. I'm trying to think of exactly yesterday. Yesterday I texted him first because I left work.
What?
I texted him. I was leaving work at lunchtime to go on a plane to come here.
Yeah, for everybody ripping on Charlie in the comments and calling him a murdering, lying, cheating, sex offending narcissist. Remember, guys, he's a murdering, lying, cheating, sex offending narcissist on a jet ski. So, perfect guy in my eyes.
So I texted him first to let him know.
And did he respond?
Yes.
And is that the only communication you had, or did you talk to him also?
We just talked throughout the night, like,
Texting back and forth?
yes.
Okay. And prior to yesterday, when was the last time you had talked to him, either in person or by text or email?
Maybe 2 days before or the night before.
Thanks so much, Mary, for the super chat. Oh, and you're off? Okay, see you later next time, Mary. Good to see you. And don't worry about our hard work here. We do it for the love. And Amy, treats for soap. Thanks so much, Amy. But you do enough for this channel. You don't need to part with your hard-earned cash. You're our resident superstar, along with Neverly Darling as well. And Udi, of course.
Ms. Kappelman, any follow-up?
No follow-up.
Garcia?
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Nothing else, Mr. Garcia.
Magbanua?
No questions, John.
All right, you can step down. Do we need to keep her any further?
No, sir.
But need her any further?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you're excused. Go about your business.
Thank
Have the
you.
next witness, please.
The state calls Linda Mascara.
Okay, that's it. That concludes. The next testimony is Yendra. Oh, there's the getaway. So funny the way she walks as well. The next testimony we're going to watch when she comes into the court with a white suit, very, very clean white suit. The way she walks, check it out, guys. We get to see her walk for quite all the way from the door up to the witness box. And it's like, what is going on? Why can't you walk right? Oh, let's have a look here. C. Malone, thanks for the super chat, C. Malone. Tell us about your journeys from the UK to Portugal, if you are comfortable. What, you want to hear about that now? That's a long story. And it wasn't exactly from the UK to Portugal. It was more like from the UK to Toulouse, to Paris, to Toronto, to Winnipeg, back to Toronto. Oh, and a while in London as well. The other London, the Ontario London. And then where did we go from there? We went over to Germany. We were there for like 2 years. Back to France, down to Spain, stay in Madrid for ages. Too long. Busy place. No, Madrid's great. Madrid's a great city. And then in Portugal. And then where? Back to Holland. What are you doing in Holland? Go back to Portugal. Yeah, it's kind of a lot to pack into the middle of a show, but I'm comfortable with whatever. You want to know something? I'll tell you. But another time. Where are we going now? So we are going to 2022. Here we go. Right, top of the hour, halfway through the time. We're getting real pro at this, guys. Soon we'll be holding a pen, pointing a pen at the camera while we talk. Like all those guys on those other more professional shows that are fantastic. Oh, a shout out to another channel, guys, that's bigger than this, but not that much, really. I mean, very good channel that I like, that I first watched Sarah Boone's latest court thing on. Lady who gives commentary. I'm pretty sure she's Canadian, but Laurie Reese. Everyone should check out Laurie Reese's channel. Yeah, I think it's just called Laurie Reese, and then the name of her dog. She's got a nice German Shepherd, I think. But yeah, she gives good commentary about Sarah Boone. I think about the Adelson case as well. I think I remember seeing. I haven't seen her channel in a while, but I used to watch quite a lot of it, and got a big thing about Sarah Boone. So if you can't get enough Sarah Boone content on True Crime Metrix, head over to Laurie Reese's channel for some excellent content over there. Okay. She's a lot shorter than I imagined. You see that bag right there? That is a $3,500 bag. Yeah? $3,500. You think that's a knockoff? I can tell you right now, it's not.
Okay, right up here, ma'am. Good afternoon. Before you have a seat, we're going to swear you in. Okay, please raise your right hand, respond to the clerk.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do.
Right, thank you. Please have a seat. Just need you to scoot up close to that microphone, okay? Adjust it if necessary.
Okay. Sorry, I had my stuff here.
What is your name?
June Umchinda,
Please spell your name.
June, last name Umchinda.
Where do you live, ma'am?
I live in Boca Raton, Florida.
Do you know Charlie Adelson?
Yes, I do.
How do you know Mr. Adelson?
He's my ex-boyfriend.
How long did you date Mr. Adelson?
We dated about 2 solid years, but we're kind of on and off for like 7 years. So,
Okay, when did you first meet him?
I met him in 2015, I believe.
And did you start dating in 2015?
Okay, I think I met him 2014 because I met him once. When he was with someone.
A little off topic, but Bob, no, I'm not an army kid. My dad was an Air Force brat in Canada and had been to CFB Trenton, where Russell Williams worked, but that is the end of my affiliation with the case. Although I have met Prince Philip when he was still alive. I put a microphone on Prince Philip once, and Colonel Russell Williams flew Prince Philip. So there's somewhat of a connection, not much.
Someone else, and he was living with a roommate that I was talking to back then. So we met once, and then a year went by, and then we reconnected, which I believe that was 2015.
All right, who was the roommate that you mentioned?
Jerry Obed.
Okay, that was somebody that was living with Charlie Adelson?
Yes.
Okay, and I think it's Dr. Obed, correct?
Right.
Was Dr. Obed living with Charlie Adelson when you started dating Charlie Adelson?
No, not anymore.
All right, so you started dating him in 15?
I believe so. I have to look.
Leah, it is a big bag, but it has to be that big. That's where June keeps her backup teeth. So she needs a big old bag, even in court.
Back, but yes, I believe it was October 2015.
All right, and you said it was kind of on and off. Can you tell the jury, was it steady for a certain period of time and then on and off after that? Can you describe that?
Yes, so for the 2 years, it was definitely on. We were together like every day, basically lived there, but not legally. So, I saw my future with him. We were going to get married. It was a big thing. But after this and everything, obviously a lot happened and we ended up breaking up. And we just always kept in touch, but we weren't officially together. So that's why I say it's on and off, because we've seen each other a few times after the 2 years.
Okay.
So,
But approximately in 2017 was sort of the official end, and then it was a little bit on and off after that?
yes, officially 2017, I believe.
All right. During the time that you were steady dating Charlie Adelson, did you stay over at his place regularly?
I did almost every night. I think every night I did, yeah. When we were
Where
together.
was his place?
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Whale Harbor?
Yes.
Is the name of the road?
Will Harbor Lane.
And what did Mr. Adelson do for a living during the time you dated him?
He worked full time as a periodontist.
Did you ever observe him engaging in any type of gang-related activity?
No.
Any type of gang members hanging around with him or interacting with him during the time you were in a relationship with him?
Not that I know of, no.
Did you ever see him engaging in any drug use or drug dealing?
Definitely not drug dealing. He likes like marijuana, and that's probably it, and drinking. So.
All right. And during the time that you two were together, that 2 years, have you described yourselves as being inseparable? You and Mr.
Yes,
Adelson?
we were.
He likes marijuana. He likes marijuana so much that it's 24/7 reggae, constant reggae, infinity constant reggae, all day, every day. He's got one of those Jamaican hats with the fake dreadlocks on the back, that he wears even in bed. In fact, after Catherine Magbanua's arrest, he was doing so much self-medicating with marijuana that he refused to ever take the hat off, the hat with the fake dreadlocks, even when in surgery. Okay, he'd be in there operating on a patient, dreadlocks getting in the way, dipping into the patient's mouth. Horrible dreadlock, a horrible fake dreadlock. But he had to do self-medicating, you know.
We're like best friends at one point. So
As you sit here today, when was the last time you had contact with Mr. Adelson?
He renamed the name of his street to Whalers Harbor. Bob Marley and the Whalers. Got out a can of spray paint. Changed all the road signs to Whalers Harbor.
so it was actually, so he reached out to me the night before he got arrested the next day, but I did not reply until the next day and he was already gone. So
In the last year, and I'm speaking about from today back, how much contact have you had with him?
well, this year I particularly tried to stay away from him. He wanted to see me a lot. He would reach out, but I just couldn't with this whole thing going on. And there's issues with another girl after me.
And when you say this whole thing going on, you're referring to this case that we're here about? Did you ever?
Yeah, the murder of an innocent father. This thing that was going on, getting in the way of my perfect relationship with the man that I lived with and was inseparable. I was there every day at Whalers Harbor.
Observed Charlie Adelson to have large amounts of cash?
I mean, I don't really know what large would be, but yes, I saw cash with him.
Thousands of dollars worth of cash?
Yes.
Where did he keep the cash?
He obviously kept cash in his wallet and he kept cash.
She should have said, listen, lady, he had to have thousands of dollars worth of cash on him because if we were out and I saw a bag I liked, I mean, how else is he going to pay for it? He needs $3,500 in his pocket at all the times, just in case I see a new bag.
In a safe as well.
A safe in his room?
Yes.
All right, and that was at the Whale Harbor residence?
Yes.
Okay, and was it a safe like the size of this speaker on our table or like the kind that's like the size of a refrigerator?
A larger one.
And was there anything unusual about the way that Mr. Adelson packaged his money?
I never looked in the safe primarily, so I don't know how he kept the money or where it came from. I just know there was money in there.
All right, and that was thousands and thousands of dollars?
From the time that I saw there was. I don't know how much was in there.
All right, and were the thousands and thousands of dollars kept in stacks of hundreds?
The thousands that I saw were $100 bills.
$100 bills. And were they stapled together in stacks?
I believe so. I saw like a staple, but this was so long ago that.
Would it refresh your recollection to review your prior statement given on July?
No, I remember it. Like, okay. I mean, there were staples on it. I just don't know. Like, I never saw the money in the safe, so I don't know.
Okay, but you saw money out of the safe being counted, right?
Right.
Okay, and that money was in stacks of $100 bills stapled together.
Yes.
What about Catherine Magbanua? Do you know her?
No, I don't.
Were you aware that Charlie Adelson dated Catherine Magbanua before he dated you?
I was, only because of the media and this. They thought I was Catherine at one point. So.
Okay, but during the time that you dated Charlie Adelson, were you aware that he had a girlfriend previously named Katie?
No.
And what about after you? Do you know who he dated after you?
After me, he dated another girl named Bree.
All right. And what about Whitney? Do you know who that is?
I do. So when Charlie and I met, he was with Whitney, and that was before me.
Okay.
And then I met Whitney briefly, like one time.
And are you aware, after the media attention began in reference to this case, of Charlie Adelson beginning to have a lot of contact with Catherine Magbanua?
No.
Did you previously say that in your statement in July 24th of 2018?
Not that I recall. Did I say that they were speaking a lot, or?
That Charlie started talking to Catherine Magbanua a lot after the media attention started. Did you say that? Don't recall.
I might have said it, but now that I look back, I can't really like pinpoint when. I think I saw a text message of him talking about a car with her or something, but I never like heard him talking to her.
Okay, did you ever know of Catherine Magbanua working for Charlie Adelson as an employee?
No, I didn't know Charlie back then, so.
Okay, and during the time that you were with him, she was not working as his personal assistant to your knowledge, or working for him in any capacity to your knowledge?
Not that I know of.
Were you dating Charlie Adelson at the time when the first arrests were made in this case of Mr. Garcia and Mr. Rivera?
Yes.
All right. And did Mr. Adelson's behavior change when the arrests were made?
Yes, they did.
Can you explain how his behavior changed?
Well, this case kind of blew up in the media, so he was obviously, he went through a lot of stages. At one point, he was very depressed, and every day it was something different, but he just was never the same after this.
Did he become violent?
Not like really to me, but sometimes he would get angry sometimes.
Agitated?
I think so, yeah.
Short fused?
I mean, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Couldn't sleep?
Yes.
Did he keep clothes by his bed in case the police showed up in the middle of the night?
He did that once, I think, but it was so long ago that I don't know if it was for that reason.
Did you have any contact with Donna Adelson during this time frame?
No.
Do you remember being on the balcony of the Icon where Mrs. Adelson lives, having a conversation with her about this case?
Briefly.
All right.
Okay, our moderator's gone nuts. The power's gone to her head. She's talking in code. SMM0 LX2. What is this?
And what was her demeanor? Do you know what I mean by that? How was she acting?
Yeah, I
during
know
that
what
conversation?
demeanor means, but she was, everyone was obviously upset about this, and she wasn't happy, so.
She was stressed out, right?
Yeah, of course.
Did she have puffy eyes?
I don't remember.
Did she complain about not sleeping?
Possibly.
And did she make a statement to you about Dan Markel?
Yes, I believe so.
What was that statement?
Just that everything was awful, and it feels like, like it's, I don't know. I don't really.
I'm not sleeping, no. It's just June's been a lot better prepped this time, hasn't she? I reckon Charlie and his team of lawyers have had her up for about 2 weeks, somewhere in a hotel, with one of those machines that holds your eyes open, forcing her to watch the tape of herself from 3 years ago, saying, "This is what you did wrong. This is what you did wrong. This is what you're going to do this time." She's better prepped.
I'm sure you have it there. So
Do you know what it is?
I kind of briefly remember, but
Did she say that she feels like Dan's back from the grave, like haunting her?
I I don't know like if they were those exact words. I think she was just so stressed out and upset that
This right there, this is a tell. We found June's tell. Okay, right there, she was remembering what the lawyers and Charlie had prepped her to say, and then tried to shape that against Georgia's question, in answer to Georgia's question. Let's see that again. So Georgia asks, I do have the record. Did she say that she feels like Dan is back from the grave, like haunting her? Is that what she said, Miss Umchinda?
yes, I believe so.
What was that statement?
Just that everything was awful and it feels like you know, like it's, I don't know. I'm sure you have it there. So
Do you know what it is?
I kind of briefly remember, but
Did she say that she feels like Dan's back from the grave, like haunting her?
I don't know like if they were those exact words. I think she was just so frustrated.
Okay, when Georgia asks you this difficult question, you're going to say you don't remember the exact words. Got it?
Like stressed out and upset that
You're going to say she was stressed out, upset, you don't remember the exact words, and you can't recall. Got it?
that's how it came out. So
During the time you dated Charlie Adelson, how many times did you visit his parents at the Icon?
not more than 10 times.
And was this the last time you ever visited them at the Icon when she made this statement?
No.
So you saw her again after that?
Yes.
Was there any further conversation about the homicide at that time?
No.
Again, that was a weird thing. Not more than 10 times. 10 is quite a lot of occasions to remember, isn't it? You know, if you'd been there twice, you could remember twice. If you'd been there 3 times, okay. But not more than 10. I'd probably say, I was there maybe a dozen times, something like that, right? That's another prep. She's been prepped.
Did Charlie Adelson have WhatsApp on his phone?
Yes.
Do you know if he communicated with Catherine Magbanua via WhatsApp?
Yeah, same lipstick, Bob, but different lips, right? The lips are totally different. In all 3 trials, she's just trying different lips.
I don't know.
And she had 2 bags this time when she came into court, didn't she? One for her spare teeth and one for her spare lips.
After your breakup with Charlie Adelson, I guess I'm referring to the official breakup in 2017, did he give you any gifts?
After that,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't remember. Maybe like little gifts. Like
How
I don't
about a
know.
car? Did he give you a car
No.
after you broke up?
No.
Did he put you on the payroll at the Adelson Institute after you broke up?
No.
Do you recall him telling you that he gave Catherine Magbanua a car?
Yeah, he gave her little gifts, like he went to Switzerland on a business trip and brought her a snow globe, which she thought was really good.
I do.
What was the deal with that?
I think he just said his father has a Lexus and it was an older Lexus. So, he
Was a 2001 black Lexus with 100,000 miles on the clock.
wanted to help someone out and, they didn't need the car. So yeah.
Okay. And what about trips, vacations? Did Mr. Adelson pay for you to go on any trips or vacations after your breakup with him?
After the breakup,
ma'am.
no.
All right, one moment, please.
Okay.
No further.
Yeah, thanks, Hugh. I was getting worried that we weren't going to be able to tie this one down, you know? It's kind of difficult to tie down because she's so nervous up there that it's not like she's maintaining normal composure in any way, but that was definitely a prepped statement, the one about Donna saying that Dan's back from the dead haunting her.
The questions.
Cross-examination.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Tara Kawas.
Good afternoon, Ms. Umchinda.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing today?
Hey, welcome,
Good,
Leslie.
thank you.
Welcome, Leslie, to the Patreon Club. Good to see you, Leslie. Thanks so much. If anyone else wants to join the Patreon, guys, we've got them rolling in. Everyone's getting memberships but you. So what are you waiting for? There's a link in the description where you can become a member today, guys. Fantastic member with merch benefits. Loads of benefits. Merch, discounts on merch. Members only content. Wonder what that could be. Find out today.
You a little nervous?
No, I've been here since 8 a.m. waiting, so
I'm
that's why
sure
I'm a
many
little
people in
tired.
here can understand what you're going
But-
through. So, I just want to go over some more details about what Ms. Kappelman discussed with you about your relationship with Charles Edelson, okay?
Okay.
Now, when you first met Charles, he had a girlfriend at that time, right?
Yes,
And that girlfriend was Whitney.
correct.
You were actually on a date with his roommate, Jerome Obed, when you met him the first time.
Yes.
Okay, so it was like a double date situation.
Not intentionally. I was supposed to hang out with Jerry at his house because he was the roommate. So it was Charlie's house, but I was with Jerry at the moment.
At the moment. But
And
you
then
weren't
that's when
with
I-
Charles.
No, he was with Whitney, and we didn't plan it like that. It just kind of happened. Yeah.
Okay, and that was around 2014 to 2015.
Yes.
Now, a few months after you met him, Charlie is the one that sought out your phone number, right?
Yes,
He tracked you down.
correct.
The friend of yours was a patient of his, correct?
She wasn't officially a patient yet. She looked online and wanted to have work done that a periodontist would do, and it happened to be Charlie. And I didn't even know she was going there, but she told me, "Oh, I went to the dentist or the periodontist," and he mentioned somehow I came up, and
And then after that, he was actively pursuing you, trying to take you on a date, right?
well, he asked her for my number, and then he had his office staff call.
Okay, so he
Get
got your
my
number
number.
from his office staff, and that's how he started calling you.
Through my best friend Gia, correct?
Okay, and when he started to pursue you, he assured you he wasn't with Whitney anymore, right? You all day, right?
Right. We always went to work during the day and then
But-
after work.
At that time, you didn't have any kids.
No, I still don't have kids.
He didn't have any kids at that time.
No,
That's not the situation now, though, is it?
no.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. And so you didn't have any kids, he didn't have any kids. You guys had, apart from 9 to 5s, all the free time in the world to spend with each other.
Correct.
Now, you weren't technically living at his house, but you were sleeping there every single night.
Right.
And you were in love with him.
Yeah, you could say that.
You thought he was in love with you too, right?
At one point, yes.
You actually thought this was the man of your dreams.
Right.
He told you he loved you.
Of course, yes.
He told you you were the only one.
He said that, but I mean, over time, I got to know
Well,
him. So,
Hindsight is 20/20, but at the time, you thought you were the only one.
right.
Now, he's very convincing that way, isn't he?
Yes, I guess so.
He has no issues with communication. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, just so you know, guys, it has been 96 degrees here, okay, for weeks. I don't have air conditioning. I don't even have a refrigerator. I don't even have a tree to sit under, okay? It's just in the sun, constantly, hot, the whole day. And we stay up so late that to do the streams for the for our friends in the Americas, that there's really not much time to sleep when I finally get my head down, because the sun, that hot ball in the sky, just comes back every day, every day. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. So if you do want to buy us an iced coffee, you can buy us an iced coffee at buymeacoffee.com. Link in the description. But more important than that, guys, like the video. Like the video. There's 100 people in the stream right now. We need about another 40 likes to bring it up. Viewers are getting real lazy on the like button. Maybe if you're still here, surely the video is good enough to like, right?
Right.
He has no problem being the guy that reaches out.
No, he's very confident and like calm. He always knows what to say. He's very smart.
And is he very charismatic?
Yes.
And he talks a lot. Right?
Yes, he talks about everything.
And he dominates almost every conversation that he's in.
Right.
And at the time, he seemed like he really did care about you. That's how you felt.
Right.
He was a very attentive boyfriend. You never had to like look at your phone and be like, why isn't Charlie calling me today?
No, he was always like keeping in touch.
And if, for example, you weren't calling, he would be blowing up your phone, right?
Oh yeah, I'd call my roommate. Like if I took a nap once, he'd like come and find me. I don't know. He
Okay.
used to get worried about me. I don't know why, but
Now, even after you broke up, it's not like when you broke up, you stopped communicating with him, right?
right.
He's-
For a while we did after the whole thing.
Now, let's talk about, well, we'll tell this jury why it is you broke up, okay? Now, you guys took a break, right?
Yes.
What year was that?
I want to say it was the end of December, like 2017
17,
or
okay.
18 or something.
So you break up, you guys are apart for a few months, right?
Only 2 months. like,
Only 2 months.
supposedly.
Then he gets back together with you, right?
Right. I
Then
got back with him.
You got back. Then you find out that in that 2 month time span, he ended up getting Wendy's boyfriend's nanny pregnant.
Yes.
And this was just in that 2 month period that you were.
Why is she smiling like this? You know, he ended up getting Wendy's nanny's, no, what is it? Wendy's boyfriend's nanny pregnant.
Were apart.
Right.
Charlie thought he answered that question so well on the stand, and when Georgia was like, and how old was Bree when you met? Well, she finished college. School came first with Bree. And then she got a job working for Dave, and she was 24 and I was 29. I was 39. You got nothing, Georgia. Why are you bringing her age into this? You're desperate. You're desperate. You're trying to make me look bad. Well, you did look bad. That raises an eyebrow. If you're 15 years, if you're 39 and your girlfriend's 24, I don't know. To me, that looks a bit weird.
Did you try to stay with him or?
Not really. Like maybe I gave it a thought, but I don't think I could have ever done that. Like after what he did, and then obviously this was going on too, so there's just a lot of baggage.
And this is who you had mentioned before. That's Bree, right? It's the mother of his child.
Right.
Okay. And he had this child in 2018.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, one of the other reasons that the reason you broke up with him actually is that you found out he was cheating with you.
KLK asks, what are her thought processes? Yeah, but you know, there's a premise implied in your question, KLK, that there are any. You know, we don't know. We have to find them first, these thought processes, these phantom possible theoretical thought processes. As soon as we find them, we might be able to find out what they are.
You from a girl from the Philippines, right?
That's not the reason we broke up, but
You did find out he was cheating on you with a girl from the Philippines.
And by the way, I know some people get a little bit upset with me for ripping on June. And just for the record, you know, is it possible not to? But I do think she's quite sweet, and ultimately she's naive and innocent and just hasn't really got too much of a clue of the real version of life that happens outside her own head, you know? So that's her only minor crime as far as I'm concerned. You know, I'm not trying to rip on her and say she's a terrible person. She's just a little naive, right? She's likable.
Yeah, he never admitted it till this day, but I suspected it and I've seen the messages. So
You found something in his
obviously.
phone with a girl that lives in the Philippines, right?
Right, yeah.
Does Charles like to go to the Philippines?
Not lately, but like, sorry, but obviously, back then for a little
Yeah, I'm
bit.
sure he would like to go to the Philippines, huh? You know, get out of that cell, hop on a plane, hit the beaches, have a really nice fruit smoothie.
He did like to go travel.
Does he? You know him also to travel to Vietnam?
Fruit smoothie and then hitting the underage brothel.
He did one trip that I knew, but I don't know anything else.
Would you say that Charlie Adelson has a particular taste in a certain type of girl?
Yeah, 16 and under.
Yeah, he told me like, I mean, I think he likes Asian women. He
His
said,
preference is
so
Asian.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Asian, young Asians, young, very young Asians.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You see somewhat of a resemblance between yourself and Miss Magbanua, right?
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, people mistake me for her sometimes.
In fact, a month ago, you were on TV when Charles was arrested, and NBC said you were Catherine Magbanua, right?
I wonder if Katie smiled back there. It's a shame we can't see her. I guess probably not. Maybe a nervous smile. You know, were they making eye contact then? June looked over. Look, she's looking right at Katie right now. And I think the fact that she's looking like that means that Katie is making eye contact with her.
Yourself and Miss Magbanua, right?
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, people mistake me for her sometimes.
In fact, a month ago, you were on TV when Charles was arrested, and
No, there is somewhat of a resemblance. I mean, I look more rich, especially when I'm in my white BMW X5 with a cream interior, and my gate security guard has put a fresh coat of Louis Vuitton wax all over my seats.
NBC said you were Catherine Magbanua, right?
I heard of that. I didn't see it, but people were telling me that my picture was up, mistaking me for Catherine. So,
All right. Now, you know now that throughout the course of your relationship, he was actually still in regular communication with Catherine.
I do, because I just saw the recording of all that. That was when I was still with him.
But you didn't know back then.
No,
He was able to keep that from you, right?
correct.
Even though you were with him every day and every night.
Right, and he would tell me something, but now that was around the time he was acting weird, so.
And he's the type of guy, like if you catch him like in I want to say a lie, he has a very good way of trying to talk his way out of it, right?
Yes.
Now, he was able to do all type of things without you suspecting anything, right?
Not exactly, I would suspect, but he was good at,
Hiding things.
being Charlie, I guess you could say.
So when you started dating him, you had no idea who Catherine Magbanua was.
No,
And you guys, you said, became serious in October of 2015, 1 year after Dan Markel was murdered.
Yes.
Yes. That you spent that Christmas with his family, right?
Hello, Wednesday. Good to see you. Good to see you. But it's only Sunday. You're 4 days early.
it was Hanukkah, but Yeah, I think it was that Hanukkah that
That Hanukkah, because they're Jewish, right? And Donna was there, right?
Right,
Harvey was there, right?
right,
Wendy was there.
right.
That's when you met Wendy's boyfriend,
Yes, David,
David.
at
And
the
it's
time.
David's nanny who is the mother of Charles Adelson's child.
Yes,
Now, you asked Charlie what happened to Wendy's ex-husband, right?
I did, yes,
And he told you, his girlfriend, someone shot him in his garage.
right.
And when you tried to ask him more questions, he was very short with you.
He just said he didn't know who did it, and, I didn't want to press more, so that was it.
But you read off of him, he didn't want to talk about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was just like a moment of silence, so I didn't want to go deeper with something like that. so.
And all he would really say to you is, he just died. He didn't go into any details about anything.
Right,
Now, you were dating him around April, May of 2016, right?
right,
That is when someone approached his mother on the street, right?
yes,
And you had said that for 2 weeks, he was acting very strange.
he was acting strange all the time ever since this, so yeah.
And around that time, you had said too that he was more consumed with his family than usual.
Possibly, yes,
All right. Now, you trusted what Charlie would be telling you, right?
I did.
Okay. And even though you tried to ask him as a concerned girlfriend, like, what's going on? Why are you behaving like this? He wouldn't tell you what's going on, right?
No,
He never told you that some person walked up to his mother and was handing him a paper about his brother-in-law's murder and demanding money.
no, and the night I guess he met with Catherine, he lied to me about where he was that night, so. And then
Oh.
I found out later I guess he didn't want to tell me he was with Catherine, like the next girlfriend.
So
So.
he had no problem being with you and then keeping all these things behind your back, right?
Right,
You only found out now that he was lying to you the entire time.
with that lie, yeah.
That lie amongst others.
Well, I mean, he did tell me like after the fact when it came out, but then I realized I put two and two together that it was the same night that he was acting suspicious, so.
Okay. Now, you were actually dating Charles before everything blew out in the media, right?
Correct,
Charlie actually told you about Dan Markel being murdered before everything came out in the media.
yes,
Okay. And that's all he told you is Wendy's ex-husband was murdered.
correct,
He was in a garage and that he didn't know who did it.
right,
And you found out that Charlie was actually a suspect in this homicide when someone from ABC walked up to you in front of Charlie's house, right?
yes,
They thought you were Catherine,
yes,
tried to interview you.
yes,
You're not Catherine.
no. I didn't even know her name at the time. I was like, who's Catherine?
And literally like walking up on his driveway, people with microphones were coming up to you to try and interview you, right?
Right, and that's how I found out about.
How weird would that be? Miss Magbanua? It's like this team of reporters coming up to you, trying to get into your boyfriend's house. Miss Magbanua, ABC News.
this. So,
Okay. From a reporter coming to you.
yes,
Can you answer a few questions, Miss Magbanua?
Now, I'm sure once you heard about that, natural tendency is to start looking up everything online, right?
well, it wasn't online back then as of yet.
But at some point, you were able just to type in his name and a 24-page affidavit would pop up detailing his alleged involvement in this, right?
Right,
And this is when he was.
Yeah, it would be the normal procedure, Miss Kawas, for the next thing you would do is go up and look up everything online. But again, Tara Kawas, you've forgotten who you're dealing with. You're dealing with June Umchinda. She went into the house, tried on 45 different outfits, took a load of selfies, put filters on them, and posted on Instagram. That's what she did that evening, Miss Kawas.
Still free, right? Yes?
Yes.
And you just mentioned that the last time you spoke to Charles Adelson was the night before he was arrested, right?
I'd have to look. I know he wrote me. I don't know if I responded that night, but I usually didn't text him back right away recently because I just wanted to wait, like stay away from him for a little bit.
Yeah, it's a patois thing, Lolly77 and Bob. It's, did I ask you? Did I ask you? Did I ask you?
That wasn't in 2016,
It's all right. No, this was the night before he was arrested.
a month ago,
Right.
right? April 20th of 2022.
Yes.
Okay. So all the time that he's free and he has all of this stuff online and all this stuff saying that he was suspected, he was never arrested.
I know, Leslie, these reporters are just like, an Asian, it's Catherine. Miss Magbanua, will you answer a few questions for ABC News? Miss Magbanua.
Until a
Right.
month ago, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure you as his girlfriend, when all this stuff was out in the media saying that he's involved and in this homicide, you must have asked him, what is all of this?
Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of shocked that he didn't mention it or tell me what was going on because I had no idea about anything. So
Before then, he never said to you, oh my God, like, you know, these people think I have something to do with my sister's ex-husband's murder. He never
right.
said anything like that to you, right?
No, he would just like rush away to his friend's house or try to go somewhere and not tell me where. So I just thought it was something else.
That he tried to keep you from knowing anything.
Right.
Now, he also told you at one point not to answer the door if the cops showed up, right?
Well, he went out of town and he said if I was at the house and the cops show up, just don't answer it or but I didn't know anything. I'm like, why would the cops show up?
Now, Catherine was arrested on October 1st of 2016. You guys are still dating then, right?
Yes.
And when she was arrested, he was shocked and surprised that she had been arrested, right?
Yes.
Those were the words you used, right?
Right.
And those were the words you used when you were describing that to Agent Sanford back in 2018.
Right.
When she was arrested, he started now acting more strange. Put a strain on your relationship, right?
Right, of course.
All right. Now, in August, before that arrest, okay, there was an episode on 2020, right?
Right.
You watched it with him?
Not like the premiere, but eventually we ended up watching it because everyone was talking about it. So.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. And isn't it true that when Agent Sanford came to interview you in 2018, he told you that they put that show out?
They did.
Yeah, C. Malone is falling in love with June Umchinda pretty fast now. But you know what it's like, C. Malone? C. Malone. C. Malone? C. Malone. It's like, you know, being in that pet store and just not being able to walk away from that one hamster that looks sad and alone and like it needs you. You walk towards the exit, and then something pulls you back, doesn't it, C. Malone? And you think, I've got to do something here. I'm taking him home. That hamster's coming with me. It's a bit like that feeling with June, I think. For many people, she is that one sad hamster that's alone in the big box. You know, the others won't. They don't want to socialize with him, and he needs help. That's what it's like looking at June sometimes. I can sympathize with that.
I don't know if I remember that. But...
If it's reflected in your recorded statement, that would be a fair representation of what Agent Sanford told you, right?
Oh yeah, Hugh, come and check out the Discord. It's free. There's loads of people in there. It's fantastic. Everyone, I'm not just saying it. Ask anyone, really. It's entertainment for me It's hilarious what people come up with in there. And it's pretty random, you know? Anything goes within reason. And yeah, it's a big community. It's becoming very big in Discord now. So everyone who wants to come to Discord, speak to the lady with the link, one of them, and or it's in the description. Just click on the description. It says Discord, and then there's a link, and then you click that, and then you're in. That's it.
That they put 2020 on?
That
or-
we put that show out.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure. I don't really remember right
No.
now, but
You watched the show with Charlie,
right.
and he'd never give you any explanation about any of it, right?
No, well, at that time it was out, so I kind of knew what was going on by that time.
Isn't it true he actually told you they have it completely wrong?
Yes.
He said that Katie worked for him, right?
He did say, like, I think she did work for him, like did some work for him.
He also mentioned that she paid for her own breast augmentation, right?
He said she paid for like one of them or something.
So if she's only had one, then she paid for it.
Like, I guess he helped her with the other.
Why would she only have one? Yeah, I'm building up over time. We'll start with one. Yeah, I just need the left. You can augment the left, but as far as, you know, it's going to be a few more weeks before I've got the money to complete the job. So if we could just start with the augmentation of one breast, and we'll go from there.
I don't know.
Helped her find the doctor?
No, like half of it.
So now your testimony is that he said, told you he paid for half of her breast augmentation?
No, I don't think he ever told me that he paid for it at all. But he said something about they accused him of paying for it, and he said he may have helped like half, like, and paid for one. I don't really know.
Are you
why he
saying
said
one
that.
breast?
Yeah, I don't. This is not my words. That's what
Okay.
Charlie said.
All right.
so.
And are you not sure if what you're telling me now has been improperly influenced by all the stuff you've read on the media about this case?
Wait, what was it? Sorry.
I'm saying, are you able to separate what it is?
You're allowed to lead the witness on cross-examination, but it's not a good idea to do it this heavily because the jury's looking at it and going, well, you're just telling her what to say to support your own argument. You know, it's allowed, but it doesn't look good. Listen to this framing here, Tara Kawas. Hotshot Miami Kawas over here.
You're telling me now has been improperly.
Charlie said no.
Are you
Why he
saying
said
one breast?
that. Yeah, I don't. This is not my words. That's what
Okay.
Charlie said.
All right.
so.
And are you not sure if what you're telling me now has been improperly influenced by all the stuff you've read on the media about this case?
Are you telling me now that you're not sure? What was that? That was confusing.
This is not my words. That's what
Okay.
Charlie said.
All right.
so.
And are you not sure if what you're telling me now
Are you not sure if what you're telling me now
has been improperly influenced by all the stuff you've read on the media about this case?
Are you not sure if you're telling me now? What the hell did she just? I still can't remember it. We'll move on. We'll move on. We're moving on, guys.
Wait, what was it? Sorry.
I'm saying, are you able to separate what it is that you know or from what you read in the media about this case before you were interviewed?
I tried to, yeah.
All right. Now, the first time that the detectives came to speak to you was in the middle of 2018, right?
Right.
They knew you had broken up with Charles and you guys weren't on good terms, right?
Oh, that time. I think they knew, like, yeah, they knew after I told them. So.
Now, when they tried to come and speak with you, they didn't just bang on your door, not announce themselves, leave and never come back, right?
No, I think for a few days they tried to get in touch with me.
No, they waited in your lobby for you, right, of where you lived?
Well, I parked my car and they like waited for me to get out of my car to walk to my lobby and to my place that I lived at the time. Yeah.
They had previously called, identified themselves, and left messages for you saying they wanted to speak to you, right?
Right.
Okay. And when they finally approached you in the lobby, they identified themselves as law enforcement. As
Yeah,
being-
I think Patrick did, or one of them, but I think
The
it was
FBI
his
agent.
name,
Yeah.
but I wasn't sure if the woman was Shelley.
But you were sure that you were speaking to law enforcement.
Yes, at that time.
It's not Shelley, June. It's Sherry Bennett.
And they were nice to you.
They were really nice. Yeah.
And they said they wanted to talk to you, right?
Yes.
And they never told you that they were recording you. Isn't that true?
Yes.
They actually promised you that what you told them would be kept secret and that no one would find out.
Yes.
That's not true, is it?
No, obviously not.
Your recorded interview is out in the media, right?
Yeah, everything I've done, like they put out, and I haven't really.
There's a camera
authorized
on you
it.
right now, right?
Yeah.
You're still talking about this. So that wasn't true when they said they'd keep it secret, right?
Right.
And they gave you every opportunity to answer the questions that they posed to you about Charles, right?
Yes.
They never accused you of lying.
No, I was obviously like upset at that time, so I was willing.
So Bob from accounting says that Jodi Arias's implants are 6 inches from the floor about now. Is that what happens, is it? Implants drop over time a lot, more than natural breasts. I didn't know that. I thought it was like a done deal for life.
To share what Charlie did to me and open up to them. I was vulnerable, so.
But you did answer all their questions, though, right?
I did, yeah.
Hey, Dog Mama Laura, good to see you. One of our beautiful members, guys. Fantastic to see you, Dog Mama.
And when you told them you knew nothing about the homicide, they believed you.
They didn't tell me if they believed me, but I just told them what I knew. So
You haven't been arrested, though, have you, for being his girlfriend?
no,
And even though you were his girlfriend at the time and you were living with him every single day, you had no idea that he had been suspected as being involved in the murder of Wendy's ex-husband.
no, definitely not. Not at all.
Your Honor, may I have a moment, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Is there any water?
Sure. Do we have a water? Can we get that here? There's some in the jury room if we need to. We'll get you water in just a moment.
Thank you.
Hey, Judge, that water for June better be melted down from an imported Alaskan glacier.
All right, redirect.
No, Your Honor.
The water that June's about to drink is 50,000 years old, right?
Oh,
Okay, well,
I
you're
think
done.
we're finished.
Okay, we can release the witness?
Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you, ma'am. You're free to go.
Is that it?
Statement call its next witness.
Clarissa Labreda. I think we've seen enough of her. If anyone would like to see the Adelson employees, guys, you can go over to our channel page. Where is that? Let's have a look. A wonderful channel page. Oh no. What? There we go. There we go. If anyone would like to see, go down here, go to the live tab. And where is it? This one, the Adelson employees, guys. Fantastic video on the Adelson employees. That's Clarissa Labredo and Erica Johnson. Both their testimonies from both the 2019 and 2022 trial. In fact, while we're here, take a look at our wonderful channel page, guys. Look at all that content. Who's not subscribed to the channel? Why not? We've got all this. All this. 10-year special. Long Road to Justice. Fantastic video, guys. And more June Umchinda, link in the description to this one. Let's talk about June. Sarah Boone, trial coming up October 7th. Right. So where are we? Where are we? Oh, thanks, Dog Mama, for the super chat. Love this community. We love you too, Dog Mama. Are you in the Discord, Dog Mama? Because if you're not, you should be. It's free. It's fantastic. Links in the description. Everyone else, buymeacoffee.com and social networks, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, in the description. What else can we do here, guys? Let's have a quick look through this chat. Okay, Incognito says, no, breast implants eventually have to be removed. I wonder how Katie is going to get hers removed. But then again, I doubt she has implants. Well, if it's a necessary medical procedure, obviously the jail's not going to pay for cosmetic work. But she's under their care in the jail. So if it's a medical procedure that she needs for her own safety or health, then the jail will pay for the operation. Yeah. Well, rather not the jail will pay. All of you guys will pay. How about that, taxpayer? Yeah, Angela Bo Bangea. Or is that Bangela? Oh, yeah, sorry. Bangela or Bangela. Is it a soft G or a hard G? Angela Bangela. Oh, I think you're just having a play on your own name, are you? I thought you might have been from Bangladesh. Okay. C. Malone, Dog Moon. It's Dog Mom, C. Malone. Yeah, Dog Mama. Well, I think a lot of us, I won't be there, but a lot of people are going to Donna Adelson's trial, even if they can't get into the courtroom. I think they're all just renting a huge Airbnb in Tallahassee and going to watch it all together on trial. And I'll be there for the Wendy Adelson trial, whenever that is. Hey, thanks Incognito for the Norwegian krona super sticker. Fantastic job. Yeah, Neverly Darling's got the link for the Discord there, the fantastic link. Hard G. Oh, it is a hard G. Angela Bangala. Okay. Are you from Bangladesh? Oh. Yeah. Don't forget, guys, if there's any specific questions in the chat, put either the red question mark emoji or some other. What did Bob from accounting say? The lightning bolt. Oh, I like that idea. How do we put that? Light. Yeah, this is the one. Everyone should put the shock logo next to a question. Fantastic. Or yeah, well, actually, the red question marks are easier to see, at least for me. Oh, that's a good one, Neverly. Any of those are good. Something to make it stand out, yeah? If it's a specific question you want if you want to ask us here at the studio, either me or Soap. No, we don't want to put Z's, C. Malone. That makes it look like everyone in the chat is bored, right? Z's. That's a terrible idea, C. Malone. But thanks. Something exciting. Red question marks, this little explosion thing, lightning bolt. QQQ. We can't do that either, Neverly. That's Carl's. I'm sure he's got it copyrighted and we'll have a lawsuit on our hands. Carl Steinbeck. Respect to Carl. We're not stealing your cues. Clarissa reminds Bob of his drunken ex-mother-in-law. Man, if ever there was a character that spelt drunken ex-mother-in-law. It's Clarissa Labredo, right? I'm almost tempted to put it on again. But we won't. Well, it's 3:05 a.m. I guess we should wrap it up. That's pretty much right on time. Just over 2 hours stream tonight, guys. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you to our new Patreon members. Anyone else want to jump on that gravy train bandwagon? Link in the description. Buymeacoffee.com at buymeacoffee.com. Blah, 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 blah. Plug, 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 plug. Love you all. Peace. Good night. Safe drive home. And come to Discord. We're all going to Discord right now.